Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome, Royal Watchers. This is AfterBuzz TV's after show for the Royals on E! I'm your host, Fern Ronay, and I'm joined by these regal ladies.
Hello, everyone. It's Megan Stecher.
Hi, everyone. Traci Propst.
And tonight's episode is episode 2, Infants of the Spring, it's called. I have no idea why it's called that. Yeah. It should be like Garden Party. Ain't no party like a garden party.
Mayhem.
Right. So that's the episode. We're up to episode 2, and it was pretty chock full of good stuff, right?
Yeah,
I think it was a good episode, especially for episode 2. A lot happened.
Yeah. Fern came in and was like, "Oh my God, so much happened," and I was like, "I was just thinking that. I don't know where we're gonna start today. So much happened."
Yeah. I guess we'll just start from the beginning. Yeah. So we'd like to know your thoughts too. If you think a lot happened, if you thought it was a great episode, definitely tweet us. The hashtag is ABTV The Royals, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can find me at Fern Ronay, and all of our Twitter handles are at the bottom, but I'm at Fern Ronay.
At Megan Stecher.
And at Traci ABTV.
Okay. So Eleanor wakes up in bed with Jasper, evil Jasper, and she tries to reach for the phone, but no such luck. No such luck anyway, because he says it's backed up on like all kinds
of hard drive, yeah.
He really does his homework.
Yeah.
When he blackmails someone.
He knows how to blackmail.
Right?
He's good.
So, and then she's, kind of caught, with him. Well, not caught. Do you think her mother knew? Because she walked in and said, "It smells like sex in here."
Yeah, but he hid. So, she probably knew she had sex. But I'm sure that's common.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know what the queen thought in entering. Maybe she thought she was going to bust her in the morning doing something naughty.
Yeah.
I love how the guy's just standing there while she's in her bra and underwear, and she's just chilling, and he's like, "This is what she wrote on social media," and she felt so comfortable.
Yeah, right.
That was good.
That is true. She's just hanging out in her undies,
chilling,
talking to the whatever he was, like some
the
royal
butler is what I would say, but I have no idea.
And so she was assigned a social media advisor, which was probably pretty wise, and that was some comedy in this episode.
Yeah.
Her tweets being translated for royal eyes, for royal watching eyes. So then we move on to Liam having coffee with Ophelia, and it seems like it's probably the 3rd or 4th time they've done that. And they're pretty cute together, don't you think?
I do. I just think...
Tracy's making a face.
Know. You don't like them?
No.
What? Oh, good.
Tell me everything.
I knew you guys were going to do this. No, I just don't... Ophelia just... she rubs me the wrong way. I think she overplays her part, and I think that's my problem with her. I don't know why I like the evil people in this series, because I don't know. I know she's just really standing up for herself, which I completely understand, but for some reason she overdoes it with me, and I'm
it's not genuine.
Yeah, it's kind of too I'm gonna give it to you and I'm gonna show you, and I don't know. Am I explaining it? Right. Yeah,
well, it's kind of funny because didn't Gemma say, I play the role of the posh one, you play the role of the plucky one, but, quiet inner strength. And she kind of is. I'm glad they wrote that in there, and that it was we're going to defy that, and it's not going to be, typical. It's not going to be typical roles.
Right.
But then she is kind of playing that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Is that what annoys you probably?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is what it is.
She's just nailed it. Do you feel better, Tracy?
I do feel a little better. And I mean, she's a great actress. I just don't she overplays her part, and I'm just go somewhere. You shouldn't be here. She isn't supposed to be there. Do I sound horrible saying?
No, because then maybe you'll like her as it goes on.
Maybe she'll grow on me. You're absolutely
What do you think of her?
I mean, I guess she is supposed to stick out as awkward because she's not royal, and they all have this little bit of a devious side to them. I feel like we figured out this week.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe it's we're supposed to feel like she doesn't belong, and it's annoying and it sticks out. I don't know. I really liked her a lot more this week.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they rounded her out a little, gave her some other dimensions and sides to her character than we saw last week when she just kept like popping up out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah.
So I liked the way they wove her in this week a lot more. And I really did actually like the scene where she was having the drink off with Gemma because I felt like we finally got to see her well, I guess we're saying like the quiet inner strength one, you know. It was a little different than that to see her break down and be drunk and she failed in her little
Well, speaking
quest.
of Gemma, so they go back to his dorm room and there she is. We finally meet her for the first time and it's revealed that she broke up with him 10 months ago. She broke his heart, but now he's going to be king and all of a sudden she returns. No, I'm sorry about your brother. Maybe she had already said that in another point, but she kind of is another character who comes along and is just has an agenda, is just an immediately strong character, kind of like the two nitwits cousins.
Yes.
You know, immediately you know who they are. So what did you think of her?
I liked her. Did you guys not see that coming? No, I'm totally, I don't know what it is, but I liked her. I thought, I mean, you know what she's doing and she's very obvious about it. So she's not like, she's playing her part very well in that, okay, yeah, I was gone, I broke up with you, but I'm back and you love me and I know that, so we're gonna get back together and that's what I've decided and that's what's gonna happen. So not saying that like that's a good thing, but I like her. I'm like, yeah, we'll see if this happens, but I like how she's very straightforward.
Yeah, there's nothing phony about her.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I love that she's definitely went straight to Ophelia with her like, here's what I'm here for. I'm going to pretend that I'm not, but we all know what I'm doing. I'm apologizing for stealing him back. Like, I loved that. I also love the evil characters.
Let's talk about that. At the garden, so they're having a garden party. Yeah, maybe it's a little too soon after the sun dies, but we know the real reason is Queen Helena's agenda to kind of, you know, this is the beginning
Not
of the
dissolve the monarchy.
Yes, she said this is the beginning, you know, the battle for the monarchy begins now with the garden party. So she says is for, you know, families of soldiers and veterans, and King Simon knows better. Anyway, so at the garden party, Gemma versus Ophelia, and I loved it. Ophelia, apologizing in advance for winning back Liam. That was awesome. And then it was a great, the dialogue was great between them. I loved it. And then they move on to the bourbon contest. And what did you think of that? I've never drank bourbon. I mean, I've drank a lot of things in my life. No judgment regarding her passing out. We've all been there, let's be honest. Right?
Yes.
But I'm not a bourbon drinker.
No.
I think that she would have thrown up a lot earlier. But I mean, it's
like 9
television.
shots. I mean, like,
and it was a little out of character. Like, she seems like she's an American who probably spent time on the coast, or, you know, no offense to Kentucky, but I just don't place her in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a great place. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but that wasn't, I thought she would just be like a Vanga girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think what I liked the most that I've ever seen out of Ophelia in these 2 episodes was those moments of her being out of control, because I think, I don't know, there is something a little obnoxious about her character that I can't pin down. I feel like you're pinning it down. I don't know.
You are. She's a little defensive maybe about being...
And maybe there's not a lot of emotion with her all the time. So to see her completely out of control of her emotions, I really liked. And just being obnoxious, like throwing those women's hats off as she was walking by.
Yeah, that was actually really
And then throwing up in front of the prince was magical.
Awesome. And we've all been there. No judgment. No judgment.
That was, I mean, but I thought it was so funny because I honestly didn't think that Gemma was going to participate in the contest.
Yeah, either did I.
So when she did, and then she won, it actually really surprised me. But I mean, it made sense. She's like, my tolerance is so high. Trust me, like, this is little kid stuff.
Right, yeah.
Like, basically. Awesome. But I was really surprised that she won and participated.
Yeah.
Shot for shot.
Well, I was surprised that the way the whole thing went down with the prince and the throwing up, like, I thought he was going to, like, run after her and hold her hair. And I thought it was really awkward when he was like, you got this.
Yeah.
I was like... We were gentlemen enough to walk her home, but you're like, you got this from the other room. I just thought that was a weird, random moment, but
it was sweet that he didn't run away. And
I expected him to leave her. I mean, I guess he's so used to it because of his sister and everything, but yeah, I was kind of like, I mean, a normal guy would leave, like, let alone the Prince of England. He's not going to be sticking around to watch you throw up unless you're right, he is in there holding your hair. Like, that would have shown a totally different character. From just stand there and...
I don't know. I think it spoke to his character that he's so decent. He's a lot like his father, that he's not going to, leave her, and he's not going to judge her for this. And that even though she says, we'll get into it, but the conversation that they have about her not being posh enough, she doesn't speak French, that kind of thing, and he doesn't care. So he doesn't care that she also is in her 20s and throws up, or some people in their 30s.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it happens, and he just was like, he still liked her. And I think it speaks to his character.
Well, I guess he really, really likes her because he told his best friend about her, Ashok, which I thought he was a great addition to the show.
He's a great character.
I like the comedy that he's bringing, and he's like very real because I feel like these characters seem so written and not very relatable, and this guy seems like somebody you'd see on a reality show or a comedian. Like, whatever he's saying could be placed in any show, which is very relatable. So
right. Some of the characters, as time goes on, they'll develop more, but some of them are a little caricature-y, like a little too much.
One-sided. Yeah.
And he's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so let's get into the rest of the episode. As far as they're concerned, takes place in that room and the conversation that they're having, and they kind of make confessions to each other. And she confesses that she never intended to, he was just going to be a story, that she got drunk one night, she made out with the prince, and it was really funny, haha. And then his confession was that when he learned when he was young that he would one day, he would never be king, that Robert would one day be the king, he was relieved, and he thinks that says a lot, because if he was meant to be king, he wouldn't feel that way. So they're kind of getting to know each other and growing. So what do you think it says about her confession, that he was supposed to just be a story? I get the sense she doesn't maybe get out a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, she kind of, she said she doesn't have a story. It was actually, that kind of made me sad. I was like, she's like, you were supposed to be just a story, because I don't really have a story.
Right.
And I was like, I liked that thing. Yeah, like, I mean, she was just kind of showing a different, more vulnerable side, which I'd said, like, she had this huge wall up before, and that was, I think, what was annoying me so much. So for her to, like, let people in and be like, okay, like, you're not this, like, hardcore, like, I'm gonna defy the queen and this and that. Like, you actually do have a vulnerable side. So when she said that, I liked it. And his confession, like, I thought that was really interesting, but I can totally see how that would be a natural reaction, I don't know, I guess when, like, terms come around, then you're like, oh, okay, now it's my responsibility. But I feel like I'd be relieved too if they're like, don't worry, your brother's got this. I'd be like, good, and I get to run around and play and do whatever I want.
Exactly. What do you think of the confessions?
I thought, I'm like calling BS on her confession, because her mother passed away. So I feel like she has a story, and we don't know her whole past of her living in America. So I'm calling BS on the whole, I don't have a story. Also, for his confession, I feel like it goes right along with what we've seen from his character so far. So that didn't shock me in any way. And he hasn't made any references to actually wanting to be king since Robert passed away. So I felt like, okay, big deal.
Yeah, it was really sweet how she was like, just for the record, I think you'd be a great king. And he said nobody's ever said that to me before, because nobody ever expected him to be king. But also to hear that for the first time makes it more meaningful, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I think he must like her at the moment more than she likes him, is what I think. Because he's telling his best friend all about her and won't stop talking about her. And then it changes his whole perspective on wanting to be king just by her saying, well, I think you'd be a good king.
Yeah.
He all of a sudden is like, Dad, give me a chance. I think I can turn this around. So I think for her right now, she's just kind of like, I don't really fit into this world. I just wanted to make out with you. I think this is all going a little too far here, bud. And for him, it's like, this girl's changing my life. So I think it's a little out of balance with the two of them right now, as far as who likes who.
That is a good point.
Do you think she's kind of backing off because of Gemma a little bit? Like, do you think her entering the picture kind of was like, oh.
Yeah, here's this girl who, is
but
kissing cheeks and,
I think it could make her feelings escalate, because before it was like, we're just hanging out, we're just having coffee, this isn't really anything, I'm not going to get my hopes up here. And then it's kind of like, he likes me, I didn't really expect that. And with a girl showing up that's competition, I think that will escalate things in one way.
Yeah, maybe it'll make her realize how much she likes him and wants to continue. And now, moving on to
we're in a silly Monday mood. Give us some time to wake up here.
Another delicious pairing, Eleanor and Jasper. Okay, so we talked about them a little bit in the beginning, waking up, the whole, possible blackmail. Now she sees a swimmer, Andy Sinclair, at the garden party, and I love how she has no idea who he is. And then she walks up to him and is like, trying to bring it up. Very cute. He's adorable. So what did you think of that whole scenario? She tells the sisters to shoo. Yeah. They shoo. They're hilarious.
Yeah, they are funny.
The cousins,
yeah. What do you call those mussels? What do they taste like? They're awesome. So she tells them to shoo. And Jasper's jealous. Do you think he's jealous because which one of them does he want? At first I was like, what's he jealous about? Because it's his hero hooking up with her, or because he doesn't want her hooking up with him?
I was confused too. That was a very weird scene
Dynamic.
for me. Yeah, I was like, okay, so she's gonna ruin his hero and he's mad, or what's going on here? I don't know. I thought you guys were gonna give me some clarification. Because
I was like, Megan, tell us.
I think it's supposed to be a mystery to us as the audience.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay. And we'll maybe figure it out as time goes on and there's more men that she would like to sleep with, and we'll see if it's really he likes her but he's trying to rule her by fear, or if it's just a control thing because he's insane. I don't know. I
don't know. Okay, so they go back. I love her line before she walks in. I'm a legend in my... What did she say? I too have inspired a nation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then
he's the best character on this show.
Yeah, she really is. So, okay, so he says, I don't want to use my job to take a selfie, but can we take a selfie? And then incapacitates him. Did he kill him?
Right.
I know. I was dying to know if he killed him or not.
He did not kill him.
They would not go that dark.
But then you see the cousins dragging him away, they're gonna go rape him. Literally. I was like, oh my gosh.
He's gonna have a rude awakening, a rude and royal awakening.
Yeah, they're like, is he dead? Come here. I'm like, what?
She's like, I always wondered how I'd lose my virginity, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Sometimes I can't understand what they're saying.
Oh, okay. I watched it with the captions on the bottom.
Oh,
so one of them
helps.
said, I always wondered how I was going to lose my virginity. And the other sister says to her, well, tonight's the night. Something to that effect. And I was like,
they're awesome.
Oh, that's such a horrible thing to say, but the funniest thing of the whole episode.
They're awesome. So yeah, that's my prediction for next week. I can't wait for the scene when he wakes up with the two of these. Because I don't think he killed them.
No.
That would take it too dark.
Yeah.
But then what I didn't understand is... So it's blackmail one way, and then she's saying to him, you won't get to have any more fun with me if you release the video. Well, she's going to continue to hook up with him, this crazy guy?
Yes.
I don't know. It's so complicated.
I think she likes the torture. I think because she feels such a prisoner, especially since her mom put the smackdown on the social media and they keep changing all of her social media tweets.
Yeah.
That this whole palace life is choking her to death.
Yes.
And she does these horrible things to numb the pain and feel euphoria, because life doesn't make her happy. Life makes her very sad.
Right.
So she gets high with a drug, she gets high off of sexual pleasures, and it's numbing, and it's also getting happy, and it's numbing, and it's getting excited, and go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
I forget what I was going to say.
But that's a really good point.
That's an amazing insight. Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Very much so. And she's like, I can't, go out and have a normal relationship, so I might as well have sex with this cute guy who's holding me hostage, basically.
But she knows that when he tells, the end, he's gonna go to jail. He's gonna ruin her reputation, but he's done. So they're blackmailing each other a little bit now.
Very strange, very brilliant. Mark Schwann.
Yes,
very.
Brilliant
I love
dynamic.
the twist that she said. I didn't even think of that before she said it. Oh yeah, sure, you can go tell, but then all this is over and you're finished. And I didn't even think of that. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, Tracy.
Me neither. Yeah,
but it's true.
So true. Yeah. So okay, moving on to more twisted and delicious. Cyrus and this James Holloway.
Never saw that coming.
Never.
You
did? You saw it, Tracy?
I did.
Really?
Oh, okay.
I not whatever, but as soon as I literally saw him, the way the guy acted, my gaydar went off.
But you didn't see it in episode 1?
No.
Okay.
I did not see an episode 1. Just 2. But in the very beginning, you've been sober, this, da-da-da, and I was like, oh, I know exactly. I just knew. I knew. Somehow the way they were talking. Yes.
Of cocaine being snorted and trysts happening.
Right. For me, I thought something was going on with the way Cyrus was looking at him at the garden party when he was like, hello, James, from behind. So both men were facing the camera. There was something in... Whoever plays Cyrus is such a good actor that his face,
terrific.
Whatever face he was making, I was like, he's trying to sleep with this guy. So I'm very unclear about who James Holloway is. All right.
No clue.
No
I'm sure we're
revelation.
going to find out
Okay.
at some point. All we know is, obviously
wife.
they had
It was
He's a wife and kids.
and it was important to the queen that he was going to be at the party and Cyrus get him in his pocket.
Yes.
For favors. So whatever it is, it must be governmental or he pulls strings. I don't know where his string pulling is going to happen.
Because he said at the end of the tryst, he has to ask him something for the queen. Yeah.
Right.
So there's a devious plan at work.
Yeah.
But I never expected him to be, I mean, I guess he's royal and he's had to have a wife and kids and he couldn't live his true life. He's obviously gay and, he couldn't be. So that's another example of how it's different because he's a prince.
Yeah.
And more deliciousness, more regal deliciousness. Queen Helena and this Captain Lacey, Mr. War Hero, found in her bedroom, leaves through a secret door.
Yeah.
There's also a past there. We didn't get much of it, but were you expecting that?
No.
Because that was she really thanked him for his service. There was no energy between them in that scene,
right,
where she first meets him.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Lacey, I wrote down.
And she didn't expect him to be in the room because she wouldn't let Ophelia's father in. So I was like, maybe she knew he was going to be in there, or she just was like, forget it.
Or maybe it was just written that way for us to wonder. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was very, did that seem random a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I was very
She seemed genuinely surprised that he was there, but then it seemed very calculated that she told the head of security not to go in.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they started making out, but then that was it. And
Yeah.
Maybe we're supposed to be confused
door.
because the secret door is going to be an operation with her men coming and go. I don't know.
I kind of think he has something to do with the sun.
Oh my God.
Like something.
Tracy. Genius.
Tracy.
I do though. As soon as it was weird when
Lady
she was.
Tracy.
Yes. Detective right here. No, I could, when she thanked him at first, I was like, wait, is she thanking him for what he, and I was like, oh, he's in the military. She said, and that's when I put two and two together. I'm like, oh, military, thanking him, sun. Something has to do with the sun. Like, it has to.
Maybe she knows something. He hid it for her, something like that.
Yeah.
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 Oh, good one.
Maybe
we
we'll
got
get
good predictions here.
Maybe we'll be getting like a little clue every week about what went on with Robert, and maybe at the end of the season it'll be like, oh my God, this is what really happened.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like that's underneath of everything.
Oh yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. Okay, and what about King Simon? Oh, he's so decent.
Yeah.
Is he?
He is a decent man.
No, that whole thing with Prudence, I thought there was like something improper going on the whole time.
With the maid?
Yes.
Even though they were talking about Great Gatsby and quoting Great Gatsby.
Yes, but didn't it seem like he was trying to turn her on by being like, oh, you like reading the classics? I'll quote you the classics, lady.
But the quote was about the
his
loneliest
life falling
moment.
apart.
Yeah, your life falling apart.
I don't know what was going on
It
there.
seemed inappropriate.
Yeah.
It definitely did. I thought that too. And I was
Maybe
like,
I don't want to believe it.
Yeah, no, because you like, he's just like, ha, but I don't know. It did seem kind of inappropriate. And the questions that he was asking her aren't something. What do you think about me abolishing the monarchy?
When
I'm
he-
like, what is the help gonna say? Like,
When he walked up to her at the garden party and asked her opinion,
Yeah.
I was like, come on. But then when they were in the kitchen, I
Yeah.
was like, this is a more genuine moment. He really wants to know what the regular people think. So I don't know.
I almost thought he was going to maybe be hooking up with her in the way that the queen was hooking up with Captain Lacey. You know, apparently they have a past there, and it's maybe like each of them has their own lovers on the side is kind of where I thought it was going.
Which is
and that he
common
was
with
going to
royals.
like, you know, take her in the closet in the kitchen wherever they were preparing the pastries. But I mean, she's already been damaged by Cyrus is forcing her to perform sex acts on him.
Yeah.
So I was like, is this going to a place of like both brothers are going to be sleeping with her? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't trust the girl.
well, she has
a gun in her bag.
Yeah, we bring
Yeah.
that. What was that?
I didn't trust
Yeah.
her before that happened, and now I'm scared.
Yeah. And she did give her honest opinion. She said some members are reprehensible.
Yeah.
And then she has a gun in her in her work bag.
Well, to me, with the gun, I thought right away, like, she wants to protect herself from Cyrus, is what I thought. But it could be anything.
It could be anything.
She could be the person that they're worried about the death threats from.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
Yes, that's
true.
what I thought. That's exactly what I thought when I was like, "Oh, was she the death threat person?" When I saw the gun, but then I didn't think that.
That's
But at
another
first
thing
I
in the
did.
beginning when he said death threats, and she's like, just another day. Like, could you
Oh, yeah,
imagine
yeah.
living your life like every day someone's trying to kill you.
Be Taylor Swift. Everyone, she gets death threats all the time.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And sad and horrible. But that's the life they live. And for some of them, it's not the life they've chosen. They were born into it and they don't have a choice, which is even more sad.
Yeah.
Speaking of King Simon, I guess we don't know if he's decent. We have to wait and see. But he's very decent with his children. It was really sweet what he said about, I don't want kids. But even to me, when he said, children are wondrous, they change everything. That's, beautiful. And that is what you're supposed to experience as a parent and enjoy it and love it. So you remember, he had just lost a child. So he's, re-examining life in general. And it was sweet what he said. And he's very sweet with his children. His conversation with Liam, when Liam says, basically, don't abolish the monarchy, that I have love and the crown, that he's going to do it differently, was really sweet. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that conversation? It was kind of...
I don't know.
I thought he was very quick to be like, okay, I won't. Okay, so please don't abolish the monarchy. Okay. I'm like, oh, that's really all it took was Liam asking you not to, and you were going to say yes. But I think it stemmed from the conversation he had with the uncle, when the uncle was telling him, yes, that was such a, huge conversation.
Yes.
And I think he was just kind of stemmed from the uncle being like, you don't even know what you have and you don't appreciate it.
Yes. So that was after Ophelia's father was going to rip the prince to shreds, and Cyrus came to his defense.
Yes.
And then they have a conversation between them, the essence of which was, Cyrus would love his job. Yeah. And you better wake up because you have a huge responsibility. Yeah. So it was a combination of that and her saying, you'd be a great king.
Right.
And him liking her. So I guess they've never married for love, which is another sad thing. You think they have they live in the lap of luxury, they have everything, and yet they kind of can't marry who they want. Until recent times, but.
Right. Well, the queen wouldn't give up this whole episode. I don't know how many digs at him she made about Ophelia.
Yeah, and pretty vulgar too.
So many. I'm
like, why does she care so much? She can't. I mean, I guess she really sees what's happening, and it's bothering the crap out of her. But I'm like, you're the queen. You have a lot of other things to worry about. Calm down on his.
Exactly. Give it a rest. You're being vulgar, and they're still young. Don't worry. He might not marry an American.
Yeah.
Although.
Right. Because he has to bring the money back to the monarchy with the wedding, as she was referencing.
That was a great conversation too.
When she was threatening that guy. Was he from Parliament?
I don't know what it was exactly, but her points were really good. We'll just move to America and bring all the money there. Yeah.
To Long Island and Diane von Furstenberg.
Yes.
I loved that.
That was great.
That was awesome. And then we see Eleanor and Ophelia again. I didn't understand the egg cracking thing. What was that?
It's a weird old hangover cure thing where people think drinking raw egg is going to help your hangover.
Mary. It looked like Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Interesting. But it was cute to see them together again.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, I need your help to Ophelia. So I wonder what that's going to be about.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a favor.
Yes.
A lot of favors.
I love this.
A lot of favors going around.
So scandalous and scheming. Devious.
It is devious.
I have to say Eleanor is my favorite character.
She is the best.
Oh, yeah. Mine too.
Tell us about, you guys interviewed her on Thursday last week?
JC and Christina did an interview with Alexandra Park, who plays Princess Eleanor.
Yes.
And it was great.
It was awesome. If you guys haven't checked it out, you can head to AfterBuzz and check out the whole interview. But she was, first of all, so sweet. And we talked a lot about her playing the part and if she did a lot of research, which she said she really didn't. She said she kind of could see herself in Eleanor and kind of just went with it from there. And she said Elizabeth Hurley's been the most amazing coach to her ever. But she's actually from Australia, and this is her first big thing. Yeah, so she has this crazy Australian accent, and then you see it shift into the British. It's so cute. But and this is her first big thing, and what she's doing amazing. Mm-hmm. And she gives it all to the coaching and acting. Mm-hmm. She's like, they are really why I'm so good, is because working with them, she talked about the situation with her and her dad in the kitchen, her and the king in the kitchen. And she's like, when I left there, I was flying.
She's loved that.
I felt like I had 10 years of acting class in that one scene. She's like, he just pulled it out of me. It wasn't even me acting. the references she gave were very, very good.
And she said Elizabeth Hurley, she was intimidated at first, but then she's become so maternal and helped her with her accent and certain scenes. Yeah, it was a really good interview.
Yeah, she was awesome to talk to. Hopefully, since she's in LA, we can get her in the studio. Yeah, that would be awesome. I know she's going to the UK for a little bit for a tour, but hopefully she'll be back before the series ends and we can get her in here.
Have her in the flesh. Yeah, Princess Badass. Yeah.
What did she think of all of like the buzz over the show since it premiered?
She said she it hasn't sunk in yet. She was, because they shot the pilot 2 years ago. I didn't realize that.
So the first episode we watched was 2 whole years ago, and then this episode we just watched was
she's
not
like,
that long ago.
They tweaked a little of it throughout the whatever, but she's like, it hasn't sunk in yet. That's something that we did. Everything was done over a year ago. So she's like, now that people are actually watching, she's like, maybe it'll sink in episode 2, but. She's like, this thing that you've really, really worked on. And we looked at her Instagram and she talks about it, but she said before the show aired, she had 100 followers. She had none, no one. And so when I looked at it before, she had 5,000. But I think every episode those are going to grow. I mean, she really is so green when it comes to acting. And I think that, it hasn't sunk into her yet. It's not real.
It's cute how she said that, she seems so grateful. It was cute how she said
so
at 14,
humble.
That was when her, did she start school at 14 to become an actor?
Yeah, I think that's what she was saying. So
she goes back to being 14, and then now she's on a major network, major series. I think it's probably
with A-list actors.
Yeah. She gave major props to King Simon.
Yeah.
His real name is escaping me at the moment.
He's huge British. Yes, forgetting me.
Yeah. And so, it was really good.
It was a great interview.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get more of them in.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to. I know a lot of the cast is UK based, I guess, but at least phone calls or some types of interviews as much as we can.
Oh, I like what they said about the castle where they filmed.
Yeah.
That it makes such a difference that it's not a set.
Right.
That it's actually filmed in a real palace.
Yeah. She said she felt like royalty, which I'm like, if you're playing that part, if you're in that part, I could totally see it.
Yeah.
But
she got a good gig.
Yeah, she
awesome.
did.
And she plays
so
it well.
Grateful. Yeah, she's great. I loved her.
She was born to be bad.
She was. And I love how you said she really looks like she could be her daughter.
Yeah. And she said she gets that. She's like, people actually, we're not the first. I thought we were the first people to know that. And she's like, no, I get that a lot. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yeah.
But great casting.
Yeah. It was awesome.
So we've been making predictions throughout, but do you have any specific predictions? We'll move on to someone's phone.
Our phones are blowing up.
Someone's phone is blowing up.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Someone's got a prediction.
Oh gosh.
So we
I don't know.
predict that the poor Olympic swimmer is going to end up tied to a royal bed somewhere with the sisters all over him.
Yeah.
That's one prediction. We made kind of a few throughout, but go ahead.
I feel like so much is going on that I don't know what is happening next week. Like, I think with this show, we're just going to have so much action with every single character every week. For me, at this point, it's hard to predict what's going to happen. I think over the long run, I can see things that I think will happen. But in the short term, I don't know what's going to happen next week.
Right.
I know we saw a lot of Fashion Week. It's Fashion Week, so I guess that's going to be the basis of the episode for all the characters. But I don't know specifically. I have zero guesses as to what's going to happen with each character.
The previews didn't address anything that happened this week.
Well, they did. It's the way they edit it is action for each person, and it's chopped up, the edited, quick, 3 seconds per, maybe at the most, per person, per line, per whatever's happening. So nothing was given away.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything.
I sort of predict that something's going to really develop between the princess and Jasper.
Oh, I love what she said in your interview, that it's not what anybody expects.
And so, she did give me a little insight. But I feel like something they're going to form a relationship.
Ooh.
And start
That's exactly what she wants. Someone to abuse her.
Yeah.
I mean, she likes it. She likes, I don't know, as much as she tries to find an escape, I think she likes pain too, because it makes her feel alive.
And she likes validation. That's kind of what she also said in the interview. Her character is kind of seeking a purpose and seeking she didn't use the word validation, I don't think, but it's validation from her father and from other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, she's definitely an emotional cutter. So I think you're right. She does draw on things that are not good for her, which Jasper's very interesting. I think I'm going to like his character.
Yeah.
But yeah,
once we get to the bottom of the accent,
I know. I'm like desperate to know more about him. Out of everyone, I want to know all about his background and why he's here faking a British accent.
Yeah.
I like when she kept telling him, like, your accent is slipping.
Yes.
That was good.
that was funny.
That was awesome. Well, it was a great episode. And again, the hashtag ABTV The Royals. And I am Fern Ronay. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook at Fern Ronay.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Megan Stecher.
And you can find me on Insta at TRACIPRO or on Twitter at TRACIABTV.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
So
guys.
next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.